Hey, what is up guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Patriot software, doing a Patriot software tutorial and review, how to use Patriot software for beginners, as well as a full review taking a look at the pricing, pros and cons, really everything you need to know when you're considering getting started with Patriot software for your accounting, payroll, and bookkeeping needs, because they are, as you can see here, known as America's accounting and payroll. They are an affordable software for accounting and payroll for your small business. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at here in today's video. Again, if you would like to follow along or get signed up with Patriot software, you can go and check out that first link down below in the video description. That's brendanvalesky.com/Patriot. And that will take you right over to this page here where you can get started with Patriot software for free today. They do have a free trial, and you can create an account or even do the demo yourself as well. So that's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video, taking a look at Patriot software. Are they the best, and are they good option for you when you're looking at accounting and payroll software in your business? I know I talk a lot about different accounting and bookkeeping software here on the channel, as well as payroll software, so I figured I would give them a shot and take a look at it here. So taking a look first as a general overview and review of what is Patriot software, what they're all about before we dive into the demo. Again, if you would like to go right to the demo, you can feel free to skip forward in the video, but we're going to be taking a look at the pricing and kind of everything about what is Patriot software, really what they are all about. So as you can see here, they are known as America's accounting and payroll software solutions. They are primarily, really just focused on the US market. So if you're in other countries, maybe you want to look elsewhere. This is primarily for a US based audience. At least as far as I know, they just service the United States. Maybe that'll change in the future, but if you're outside the US, maybe look for other accounting and payroll and bookkeeping software. But if you're in the US, great, right? No matter what state you're in, as long as you're in the US, Patriot software does service that region. And that follows as well as far as some of the layout and the currencies and things like that as well, something else to keep in mind. But going along here, as you can see, they offer not only just accounting, but also payroll software. So they have accounting and payroll is their main bread and butter here. And then they do also have additional add-ons for time and attendance, HR, and a bookkeeping service. Those are paid add-ons. We'll look into that. And Patriot software is a paid software tool as well. That's something to keep in mind. They do have a free trial period. We'll take a look at a little bit more about the pricing in just a moment, but I just want to go over the general overview of the software and what they're all about. Now, like I mentioned, they do have accounting software, so you can create, send, and track invoices. So they are also an invoicing software. You can accept credit cards with their Stripe integration. You can get financial reports, and they do also have an add-on bookkeeping service, which honestly, a lot of accounting software nowadays, a lot of accounting companies do offer that. Especially, companies like QuickBooks, companies like Wave, they all pretty much have their bookkeeping service because it makes sense. It's an easy add-on for them to sell. If we take a look at their payroll, you can run unlimited payroll, pay your team with free direct deposit, as well as tax filings and deposits with their full service payroll. They also have the add-ons for time and attendance, where employees can enter their hours. They can clock in and out via the web or an app, as well as custom overtime rules, so you can set it up like time and a half and things like that. Again, we're going to be diving into the software in just a moment here. And then they also have the HR software, right? So that's their compliance center, paperless employee files, as well as manager permissions and things like that. Now, again, there is a 100% online accounting and payroll software solution, so you can access it from your phone, tablet, desktop, computer, as long as you're connected to the internet, like you can see here. They do also have a mobile app for W-2 employees where you can download their free app to view paychecks, edit federal tax withholding. So it is also designed quite well for the payroll side of things. They are really both, so accounting and payroll software. You don't necessarily need a whole separate solution, which can be a nice benefit. Again, it's under one login. You can get them together or separately, so you don't necessarily have to have both if you just are looking at primarily the accounting software or if you're looking at it for the payroll side of things. But it is nice that it is more unified and under a singular login. Now, in terms of other aspects, right, we're going to be getting into the pricing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the pricing. Now, I do want to stress, of course, this pricing is accurate as of the making of today's video. This pricing page is subject to change. Be be sure to check out the links down below in the video description if you want to go over to Patriot Software and see their most realistic and up-to-date pricing. But at least as the time of making today's video, their pricing does have a 30-day free trial as well as 50% off for 3 months. Again, these offers are always changing. That's just the offer accurate and available as of the making of today's video. So they have an accounting basic, they have an accounting premium, as well as their payroll software where they have basic payroll and full service payroll. We're going to be taking a look at both a bit in this video, because those are the two main software solutions that Patriot Software does offer. I know a lot of you guys are looking at, basic accounting software. What's maybe an alternative to some of the other accounting software solutions out there? And the price point is fairly competitive, right, for what it includes. You have unlimited customers and invoices, automatic account bank imports, income and expense tracking, accepting payments from vendors, unlimited invoices, so you're not limited to anything there. And you can also send reminders on the premium version. That's at $15 a month at the starting point, $10 a month respectively, but then that does go up to $20 on the basic and $30 on the premium. So the basic is really kind of that more sweet spot, I feel like, for most of you guys watching this video. If you're looking for something more competitive, or if maybe you're just looking for something a little bit different, because I do think that the Patriot software is pretty streamlined, pretty well organized. It's pretty smooth. So we're going to be getting into the demo in just a little bit here. And then the payroll software is per worker is how they charge it, as well as just a regular basic payroll that includes free direct deposit, free employee portal, unlimited payrolls, pay contractors and payroll, free 401k integration, as well as a free workers' comp integration. So again, if you do need the additional filings like federal, state, local, that is going to be on their full service payroll. So if you just need basic versus full service, that's kind of the difference there. In terms of the add-ons, right, that's for the HR and time and attendance, as well as the potential bookkeeping service if you're interested in that. So that is what it looks like. And if you are of the few accountants that might be watching this video looking at it for more of like a client service-based business, they do also have discounted pricing for accountants as well. So that's something to consider if you're an accountant yourself looking at different software, kind of considering things for clients. So without further ado, let's go ahead and actually dive into the demo portion of this video and go through the tutorial of how to use it for beginners and kind of looking at like what does the actual software look like. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the software. So this is the page that you're going to be greeted with on the dashboard. Now, currently I have this set up under their self-guided demo. So this is a demo account. You can actually access this exact same demo from their website and play around with this yourself if you'd like to follow along with the video, or maybe just kind of get an idea and the feel for it yourself. You can add any info you want in here and just play around with things. So this is essentially what the dashboard looks like, right? You're greeted with your run payroll, add employee, add contractor, manage time cards, create invoices, receive payment, or enter and pay bills. So this is a quick little like hot bar as far as like, okay, I can click here, click around, and get to these things really easily. We're going to be starting with the accounting section, and then we'll dive into the payroll in a little bit here. So as far as the accounting section, we have this left-hand dashboard side here, right? This menu selector. We have the accounting section, and it will bring down this drop-down menu here where you can go through and find all of the things that you would need for accounting, right? We click on overview. We're going to start with the overview. This will then bring up your list of account balances. So you can see your total account balances, total assets, liabilities, equity accounts, income accounts, expense accounts, and all of the different tax categorizations as well, in terms of where those fall into, especially for expenses. That's pretty important that, you're matching things properly based on the current tax categorizations, and just matching things properly when it comes to your business expenses, and staying organized, right? And this is a full-blown accounting software. It's not just a bookkeeping software. It is both, full-blown actual accounting, so you can manage those balances and managing the assets and liabilities, right? So it's more of a full-blown accounting software. I get because some videos and other different types of softwares are maybe a little bit more basic. This can be both, so it depends on how you want to go about setting things up in terms of if you would like to do double entry accounting or single entry. In terms of double entry, that's where you're actually keeping track of the balances in the accounts, versus if you're just doing basic bookkeeping, that's more or less just keeping an income and expense report. You can do that in here as well if you want to do it that way. It's up to you. Now, moving along here, we have the overview, and then we also have the general ledger. Now, the general ledger is where you're going to see your transactions, right? If we click on overview, they're like, oh, where are your transactions, right? So, because that is a little bit confusing, but you go here, you click on general ledger. So general ledger is going to be your transactions for your business, and that will list them out here. Now, if you have connected, again, this is just a demo account. Once you've connected your bank accounts, it will then show all of your data for the transactions in your business bank account or whatever checking account that you actually use for your business. Is totally up to you. And then this will list out the amounts, so the credits and debits. So if it's a deposit or an expense, it will easily list them out here in terms of your total activity. Now, in this demo account, we have a checking account as well as a savings account, and you also have cash accounts. So you can set those up however you want. You also have sales tax collected, an owner's equity account, and then the T-sales account. This will be from like invoice payments and things like that. You also have miscellaneous income. You also have a bank account. This is a lot. You don't necessarily have to set up all these different accounts, but you also have rent, advertising, insurance, office supplies, meals and entertainment, right? So depending on how you set up all your accounts, you can get pretty detailed with all the different accounts. But if you just linked in like a singular bank account, it will then just populate here like your normal checking. So don't get too overwhelmed with all the test accounts that are in here. You could just link a singular checking, and you can see your income and your expenses listed from your checking account. And if you do want to list them as debits and credits, which I know some of you guys who are more like, by the books accountants, you like to see debits and credits, you can see that here quite easily. You can just toggle it on and off. If you're more new school and you don't really necessarily care about the, calculating your transactions and logging them as true like debits and credits, you can also just see it as a minus. And this is essentially what it would look like on most bank accounts nowadays. But you can kind of go old school with debit and credit as well. Again, if that confuses you, feel free. You can play with that toggle if you want it. You don't have to, you could just leave it that way. But I figured I would show that here if you are one of those old school accountants, right? In terms of the general ledger, right, you can set your start dates, your end dates. You can modify it if it's a cash-based accounting basis, which is what I personally like and recommend to most people is cash-based accounting. You can do accrual-based accounting if you want to calculate those, accounts receivables that are, if you have a lot of invoices that are based on accounts receivables and you're going to get paid. Just depends on the nature of your business, but you do need to keep it consistent. You can easily split between here on the accounting basis that you're using. Again, I recommend most people probably use the cash basis accounting. You can look into that more as far as which might be best for you, but cash basis you can easily select that here in this software. In terms of departments, you can also set departments where it's like, different departments, and you can run the reports individually, which is kind of nice. You can also set up all the different accounts. Now, again, this is a lot of accounts in here. You don't necessarily need that many in your business, but you can have them in here, and it's pretty easy to select through them. You also have your start date, end date, like I mentioned before. You can, easily go, year to year, month to month, day to day, however you'd like to sort that out, and run the general ledger report and see, transactions that have come in during that period. And you can also mark them as, if we go to settings, edit, add attachments, you can make sure that they are labeled properly in here as well. Now, in terms of other aspects inside the software, right, you have the ledger here, and you can see customer invoice payment. Things are labeled. Okay, this is office supplies, right? That's easily labeled here. You can see that journal entry is there. And these are the individual transactions. Now, in terms of other aspects of the software, you also have accounts receivables, which is your invoices section. So you can see total invoices that are due, invoice due or overdue. And you can also apply a payment or create an invoice, which we're going to do that in just a second here to show you what an invoice looks like. I just want to go through this list here before we actually go and create an invoice. We also have customer lists, so you can add their details, business name, contact name, phone number, the usual stuff, right? The pretty typical things here. You have products and services, so this is what would go actually in your invoice. So maybe whatever kind of products and services you sell within your business. In this example, it's more like a physical product-based business, but if you're a like service-based business, pretty easy to outline those as well. You have your estimates you can also run if you like to run estimates. You also have credits that you can create a credit system with unpaid invoices and then use those credits. And that's good for just accounting services. So that, like, if you have a certain amount of payment, you can offer credits to clients and things like that as well. Now, if we take a look at the actual invoicing and what that looks like, we go through here, we create an invoice. Again, if you're going to be accepting payments, you can easily do that with Stripe for card and ACH direct debit payments, which make it pretty easy to get paid on your invoices, which is a really nice service that they do offer that. Again, that should be pretty standard for most softwares. You do want to get paid on your invoice. You don't want to just send like a blank piece of paper and no way for them to actually pay it. So that's nice that they also have that option there as well. To accept the customer payments directly on the invoice, you have the customer name. So we have like Ben's Books, Martha's Cherry Pies. You have your invoice number, invoice date, terms. So you can set, due on receipt, net 5, 10, 30, 60, 90, department, due date. You can set the amount, right? You set the price. So I don't know, $20, right? Maybe $200, maybe $2,000, right? You're charging them a lot for a service, and maybe we want to mark that, whatever account we want to add that to. If we're going to just say it's like general tea sales, we can add a product. So we're going to say black tea. Okay, see, this is already kind of like preloaded based on the product that you select. If you add new products, you can then just delete this and add things however you would like. You can also add discounts to the invoice. So you can add custom discounts, whether it be a percentage or dollar amount discount, and then apply and record the discount to a specific account in here as well. You also have sales taxes. You can easily mark those, and then you can create and send the invoice. You can also add attachments to the invoices as well if you would like to do that. Pretty standard stuff, honestly. It's pretty nice setup. It's pretty easy to navigate and to create and send those invoices out to those customers, right? You create them, and bada boom, bada bing, you've got your invoices. So moving along here, beyond that, you also have your payables, right? We're gonna go ahead and just leave that unsaved. We have the enter and pay bills. So this is how you would, if you have maybe some clients that vendors that you pay for the products and services in your business so that you can operate your business. So let's just say the electric company, right? You got to pay the electric company. You can either pay them cash, or you can pay them, depending on, you got to select the proper account to apply this to. So you would just go through, okay, utilities account, electricity, right? I'm paying the electricity company, non-employee compensation, you can type that in here. Say we got a large power bill, and we're sending it there, and then we can save this or add an additional payment. So you can easily add the bills, add your signature to checks and things like that as well, and then approve and review the payments. You can enter in bills. As I showed you before, that's if you're going to be paying them. This is if you already have a bill. Okay, so we have a bill that we have ready to pay. We select the bill to pay it, and we can save and continue. And then this will be like, okay, we've approved the payment, and boom, now the payment has been approved, and it's going to withdraw this from the checking account. And then you can print your vendor checks and get that ready to go, so you can send it directly to pay the bill. You can see past payments you can record, as well as printing the vendor checks. If you'd like to see the details here or print them, you can do that there, as well as manage your list of vendors spreadsheet. If they're active or inactive vendors, make sure that they're registered on your account. So a pretty easy setup there. Now, in terms of imported transactions, you can manage automatically imported transactions here, whether that be, like I mentioned, bank accounts. You can also link credit cards, other financial transactions. You can categorize them, post them to account. You can also manually import transactions via like a CSV file or an Excel sheet. Maybe if you have an old accounting software that you're migrating, you can go through this process here and actually import transactions. So it's something else you can do, or just connect the accounts that you would like to link inside your Patriot software account. You can go through here on journal entries, deposit and withdrawal. So this is going to be a deposit or a withdrawal. This is where you're going to be entering in, those actual entries if you do have anything manual, or if you don't like linking accounts, you can just do everything manually here and add your income, add your expenses, and do it like pretty basic. I know I show a lot in my Zoho videos on people doing like it, adding just manual deposits and withdrawals. That's something you can do on here as well, if that's something you're interested in. Honestly though, if you are paying for a premium software such as Patriot software, you should probably be using the automated transactions, because that's part of why you're paying the monthly fee, is to get those automated transactions, right? It's not free for them to offer that as a service on their product and as on their software. Same thing with QuickBooks, same thing with like FreshBooks, even the premium version of Wave. If you're paying for a software, you should probably be doing them automatically to help save you time. That's why you're paying for a software. If you're just using a free version of something, I can understand just doing things manually. But if you're actually going to be paying for this, you probably want to do them automatically, but that's up to you. You can do that here as well. And then reconciling the accounts, and you have the close periods if you want to close out an accounting period for some reason, or if you finish your tax time, okay, boom, you're done with this like year, then you can close it out, and bada boom. That's the accounting section of this video. Now, moving into payroll, this is a whole separate section. And this is honestly I really like the payroll. Honestly, I like the payroll with Patriot even more than their accounting. For me personally, I find their payroll to be just a bit smoother. It's nice that it's integrated, and I just kind of like the way it rocks and rolls, right? So taking a look here at the payroll, right, their payroll overview, you can view the hours, the pay date, the gross, the net, the number of employees, as well as the tax collection that's on the payroll tax collection as well. You can run payroll, add employees, view employees, pay contractors. We're just going to go through, click run payroll. So we can go through here and view the payroll. Pretty easy setup. We have, let's just say, a couple of hourly employees. If you want to enter in their regular or overtime hours, let's say they just did like 3 hours here and 30 hours for this one. So maybe, or something like that. I don't know. Totally up to you. And then you have, this is salaried employees, so they just have regular hours. It's not going to really change anything here because they're a W-2 employee. But these you can edit, and maybe they did like, they came in for a night shift or something one time. I don't know. And then you can just click continue here, and then you'll run and approve the payroll, right? Preparing the payroll, and it will pretty quickly get things going. You've got total hours, gross pay, net pay, payroll totals, and you can approve the payroll, the pay period, and the pay date, and see it, and then it will be scheduled for, and the tax collection as well for payroll taxes, and you can approve the payroll, and that's pretty much it, right? You post the payroll, boom, payroll's been completed. You can print it, view it, or show the check summary and things like that. So pretty easy there, in my opinion. You can also add in new employees. So you can invite an employee to self-onboard or manually enter in an employee. This again goes with their name compensation. If you have their other information, their personal information, then you can manually add them, or they can just do it through the self-onboarding, which is pretty cool. In addition to that as well, you also have the ability to view employees, right? If we want to see our current employees, we have active, terminated, leave of absence, things like that, active, inactive. We have them on their pay schedule and the pay type. So pretty easy. We can add employees here if we want to add some more. And then we can also pay contractors. You can also view like what your recent pay runs look like here. We can pay contractors. We take a look at that here. Go through the 1099 type, what we're paying the contractor for, and then the amount. So pretty easy setup there. And then you can view the contractor list just like you can with employees, and view that there. You can also view past payments, print contractor checks, and that's pretty much payroll, right? Pretty simple setup. You can also go through here and print the payroll reports. You can void payroll if you need to like undo something. So pretty easy setup here. You also have time and attendance. So this is one of the add-ons. You have time cards that you can view and add them in, so you can have employees and approve time cards for them if you do need that in your business. You also have HR, so you have your employee documents, such as company website, other types of things you can have here with employee documents, as well as their HR center, which is going to show you compliance, law, HR assessments, learning dashboards, things like that. That is sort of what that process looks like, if that's what the compliance tools are going to be. Now, in terms of running reports, right, these are another essential part of having an accounting software. It's actually being able to run through the reports. This is something I typically go through after the accounting section, but I figured I would just roll through the payroll. Now looking at the reports, and honestly, my favorite report out of any type of report on any kind of accounting software, and probably the most important for anybody, is their profit and loss statement. Right? You go through here, you go to your reports, you go to your profit and loss statement. That's what most people are going to be doing. You can easily go through here, see the month. Now, this data is a little wonky because it is just the demo data, but you can see if we look at even the year, just for the current year, we run the report. Now, you would typically have data in here for January, February, March. You know, even if we just look at here at the homepage here of Patriot Software, you can kind of see the January, February, March, like the nice little curvy trend of income, expenses, total profit. You know, that's what everyone loves to see once you enter in all your transactions and everything is logged in here properly. And that's what you're going to see here, right? You can easily click through here, mouse around and see like your income, your expenses, and your net profit. This business doesn't really make much money, clearly, even though they brought in $11,000 with only, you know, net profit of $300. So, you know, maybe they need to trim some of the fat. Maybe they need to get rid of some of these expenses. I don't know. But you know, you can go through here, see the reports. It's a pretty simple report, pretty nice little profit and loss statement. You can go through here into the more, you know, detailed reports. This is mostly going to be like lists of things. Some of these are kind of the same types of things that you would see in the list, but if you do need more details, like forms or specific lists or summaries, this is where you go to check them. Inside here, right? The different statements you have, maybe unpaid invoices. You can click through here, easily see a report of unpaid invoices. You go through reports, you can see accounts receivables aging summary, which ones are aging at like 1 to 30 days or current. This is a really important report for a lot of you guys who have a lot of clients and you have, you know, people that, you know, are that 90 days, 60 day, 30 day out. So you can really kind of see like, okay, where are we at with payments and where are accounts, you know, aging and things like that, right? What are your customer balances? What's past due? You can easily go through here and see that, especially if you are running a larger company with clients. This is super important as far as the reports go. You can go through here and play around. Again, I will leave a link in the video description if you'd like to get set up with Patriot Software. Again, that's that first link down below in the video description. That's brandonvalesky.com/Patriot, and it will take you over to Patriot where you can get started today. But that's essentially what the reports look like, right? You can go through here and list all through them. If you want to pause the video and take a look at what's listed here, again, feel free to check out the demo. You can go through here all of these yourself. I'm not going to go through every single one in this video here today, but that's what they are and what they look like, right, in terms of what you might expect. Again, profit and loss, accounts receivable aging. I feel like those are probably two of the most popular, two of the most important. So guys, that pretty much rounds out this video here today on Patriot Software. If you'd like to go ahead and get signed up with Patriot Software, again, you can go ahead and check out that first link down below in the video description. That's brandonvalesky.com/Patriot. That will take you right over to Patriot Software, where you can be flying high with the bald eagles and the American flags with your accounting and payroll software solution, guys. If you found this video helpful or enjoyed it, then be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.